Hi everyone, welcome to another YouTube session, my weekly updates for Australia skilled migration. So the state of South Australia has opened today, but not a lot of excitement around because as anticipated, it has opened up only for onshore applicants at this time. Like I shared in one of my previous videos that I do anticipate some states to actually open the nominations first for the onshore applicants, and once they're done with allocating nominations to the onshore applicants, then they'll move on to the offshore applicants. So just a little bit about the nominations that are opened up today. The South Australian Immigration Department has declared that it will start taking applications for nomination, that is 190 and 491, from 8th of February, 8 a.m. Australian Standard Time onwards. And the list of occupations will be released on the 5th February, that is today. But since it's restricted only to onshore applicants, I'm going to skate it aside. So with the opening of Tasmania, there are a few things I think that have been very, very clear to a lot of you. First, that the point score is not going to be raised for 491 applicants, because a lot of people were under the impression that probably the higher the score, the better chances you have to get an invitation or to be invited for a 491 application. So with Tasmania making it very clear that 65 points is all you need to score in order to be eligible for nomination, it is clear that you don't have to really work on increasing your score, being under the false impression that if you have a higher score, then probably the higher scoring applicants would be picked up, the way it happens in 189 or 491, relative sponsored, not state sponsored. And the other issue that has been clarified is that the states will be very happy to nominate some applicants who have competent level English as well, that is 6 each in IELTS or 50 each in PTE. And proficient English is not something that will be subjected to all the applicants. Very few applicants will be required to have 7 bands in each section. And the third and the foremost clarification we've got from Tasmania nominations opening is that offshore nominations have opened, and it was a myth that has been busted, of course, that offshore nominations will not be available to those who are living overseas and they may have to wait forever. That is not true. Tasmania has already opened, and we do expect other states to open up for offshore applicants as well. So that brings me to a question that you might be thinking, that why is it that some states are making the nominations available for offshore applicants while some states are currently inviting onshore applicants only? So the way I look at it is something like this. There are some states which have a huge quota for nominations, such as the NSW, such as the Victoria, and such as the NSW. So these are the top 3 states that have a huge quota to offer as far as nominations for 190 and 491 are concerned. And these 3 states also happen to be the states where they already have a lot of clients or a lot of people living. A lot of people are living in Victoria, a lot of people are living in South Australia, a lot of people are living in NSW. So probably they have a large number of people onshore who are waiting for nominations as well. So they want to probably clear the deck. They want to first get done with those people who are currently onshore and then move on to the offshore applicants. Tasmania, for an example, is probably a state where you do not currently have a lot of people living. Therefore, they decided to straight away make the applications open to all the applicants, that is onshore and the offshore applicants. So with that, I come down to the next issue that I want to discuss with you is that with these particular states opening and the quotas being allocated, I do want to share with you that the 189 skilled and independent visa and the 491 relative sponsored visa are the one that have taken a major hit. Unfortunately, those of you who are probably thinking that, been pinning a lot of hopes on getting an invitation for a 189 or a 491 relative sponsored may end up getting a little disappointed, because I do not see a lot of invitations going into these being directed in for these two visa subclasses, because the immigration definitely seems to be very, very focused on regional migration, and of course nominating applicants through states under the 190 and the 491. Therefore, those of you who are applying or who've already lodged expressions of interest for 189 or 491 relative sponsored, please do very seriously consider 190 as well as 491 as well, because you may end up not getting an invitation to 189 and 191 relative sponsored, but have a much better chance of getting it under 190 or 491 state sponsored. And now I want to share a question that I've been asked by a lot of applicants. There was a story published in some newspapers about a couple of days back that said that the Australian borders are probably expected to be closed till December. And with that popped up a very relevant question, that does that mean that immigration is kind of put on a halt for us? Now, I'd like to share with you first, we are not yet sure whether this is true, because this information has not come from the Department of Home Affairs. Okay, let's for a moment, let's go with the notion that the borders will probably remain closed till December. It does not affect a migrant in any way. It can affect visitors, it can affect students, but it cannot affect migrants, simply for the reason that a migrant has a long journey to undertake before he or she is in a position to physically fly down to Australia. So we are looking at a time frame of anything from 6 to 12 months for the migration process to be completed. And following that, once a visa is granted, the migrant is given a period of another 12 months to make an initial entry to Australia. Therefore, even if the borders open up in December, which I don't think is the case, but even if it is the case, you need not be worried, because you first of all have to go through the entire process. All the formalities will take you 7-8 months to complete the process. After that, you will have enough time, about a year's time, to make your initial entry. So this is not a news that should not bother a migrant at all. Now, a question I'd like to take up with you is that a lot of clients ask me on YouTube whether they should lodge an EUI, a single EUI, or more than one EUI. Now, this is a very interesting point of debate. I strongly recommend clients to usually go with just one EUI. However, if you are one of those who've been contemplating lodging more than one EUIs, please share your profiles with us, and I'll be able to discuss this on a case-to-case basis. Now, with this, I'd like to end that you should get started with the skills assessment. I do remember some clients or some people saying that, we'll get started with our process, that is skills assessment, once the states start opening up. So here the states have started opening up, though it was not advisable that you wait for so long, but if you have no reason to wait on any longer. Please get started. Some of the assessment bodies have also increased their fee structure. The VERISES, which is the largest assessing body, has, for example, increased its standard processing fee from 880 Australian dollars to 927 Australian dollars. And of course, if you do want to go for a priority processing, you add on another $600 to the standard processing fee. So please do send us your CVs. When I get your CVs, I like to look at your qualifications. I like to look at your date of birth. A lot of you don't have your date of birth on your CVs. Please do make sure you have that. And of course, the positions you've held throughout your employment career, and brief description of the tasks you've been performing, so that I'm able to identify an appropriate occupation. So our number remains the same, that is 78498 78498, and you can email us on CaanWings@gmail.com, that is CAANWINGS@gmail.com. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. Any questions, you can just go ahead and post on YouTube. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. For any case specific queries, please email me instead, because I don't like to give case specific responses publicly, because we of course respect your privacy and the privacy of your information. So until next time, take care and bye-bye.